Good morning, welcome to CATEX TV. My name is Frank Fortunato. Today is Thursday, February 7th, 2013. U.S. Air and American Airlines are apparently about to merge. This is according to CNBC. The deal is close to being complete. It's been being discussed now for a number of months. The merger would create the largest airline in the world. The combined company would be worth more than $10 billion. A number of reinsurance luminaries have been making comments over the last 24 hours about the potentially perilous state of the industry. The founder of ANV, the syndicate backed by Fairfield up in Canada, who's also named Matt Fairfield, said that reinsurers need to adjust to the realities of the post-financial crisis, and even big industry names could find themselves in trouble if they don't. He said, we have to adapt, we have to adjust, things have changed. He cited Microsoft, Nokia, and BlackBerry as companies that, due to their failure to keep up with change, are in trouble. He said the same goes for insurance. He also said that regarding mergers and acquisition, he said that I don't think that people are desperate yet, but I think that they do see the sands of time in the hourglass getting down to the bottom. So we'll see more M&A activity to come. It's a pretty dire prediction. Meanwhile, the director of performance management standards at Lloyd's, Tom Bolt, in a speech yesterday at Lloyd's, gave the market his strongest warning yet about the dangers of regulatory intervention on improper broker remuneration. Bolt told the gathering of underwriters that they needed to be extremely careful in documenting and monitoring their broker arrangements, particularly those that don't appear on the slip or on the agreement. He warned them that you're just as burdened with guilt as the intermediaries are, and you have front-page newspaper risk as the next guy. He said, I'm killing myself trying to keep you guys out of the newspapers on this one. He said that their arrangements need to be documented and quantitatively and qualitatively auditable. He also indicated that he was fairly bearish on the state of the market. He was asked whether or not underwriters were living through a continuing soft market, and he responded by saying that brokers are putting underwriters under pressure and that people are asking to see more business than previously, and that coverage creep is evident. In other words, they're expanding the policies without necessarily getting the premiums. Mr. Bolt also described the Costa Concordia and Rena sinkings, ships that went down, as a game changer for the maritime business. He said underwriters now have to deal with the fact that there's an additional cost of removal of a wreck that has to do with the government's desire for an ecologically friendly solution. He said that removal could cost up to $600 million. Meanwhile, the founder of Axis Re down in Bermuda, John Charman, who is well known in the industry, said that the reinsurance industry is being overwhelmed by regulation and is being nicked to death with the death of 1,000 cuts, and unless the regulation lightens up, the industry faces a very bad and negative future. Well, you'd think things would be very tough, but listen to this. Partner Re, which is based in Switzerland, said that they reported fourth quarter net income of $111 million and blew away the Wall Street estimates. They reported a net income for all of 2012 of $1.13 billion. Renaissance Re, based in Bermuda, reported net income of about $42 million for the fourth quarter and $566 million for all of last year. And Everest Re said that they saw a 43% jump in the fourth quarter to about $59 million, and they reported $829 million of net income for last year. Things aren't so bad. Japanese now are being besieged by yet another country. Yesterday we reported that the Chinese Navy locked on their weapon system radar on a Japanese Navy ship. Today the Japanese scrambled Air Force jets to intercept 2 Russian fighters that apparently had wandered into Japanese airspace. The Japanese have lodged a formal protest. The Russians have denied it. Unless we forget what's going on in Syria, where apparently now over 50,000 people have been killed. According to reports, the suburbs of Damascus, the capital, have been rocked by heavy fighting and heavy artillery shelling for the second straight day. The Syrian army has launched a major offensive that opposition activists claim has already killed 55 people. New England is getting ready for a major blizzard that's going to start sometime tomorrow afternoon. It might not be one for the record books, but it's going to be the biggest of the year. About 2 feet of snow is expected to fall on mostly bare ground up there. It's going to be good for ski resort operators, but bad for everybody else. According to the National Center for Environmental Prediction, which is part of the weather agency, this has the potential for being a very dangerous storm, especially for Massachusetts and northeastern Connecticut. They said it's too early to tell if it could be one for the record books, but it will be a rare and major storm, the type you can't let your guard down with. A blizzard warning is in effect for parts of Massachusetts and Rhode Island. Well, the Boeing 787 Dreamliner is still grounded, but the FAA has given Boeing permission to have one flight only. It's going to occur later today. It's going to be a 787 that's going to be leaving the Dallas-Fort Worth Airport, flying to Boeing Field up in Everett, Washington. The plane was down there for a paint job. Hopefully it's not the Alitalia painters from yesterday at Da Vinci Airport in Rome. But the plane is going to be allowed to fly back to Boeing where it belongs, apparently. There's still that ongoing problem with the batteries. Nobody quite knows what the issue is. All 50 Dreamliners are grounded, except for the Ethiopians, who are still flying theirs. But the FAA is letting the one flight proceed under certain conditions. They said that before the flight, the crew must perform inspections to verify that the batteries and cables show no signs of damage. That's very good. They also said that the pre-flight checklist must include a mandatory check for specific status messages that could indicate possible battery problems. Well, that's good too. They also said the plane can't make any stops. It has to fly directly from Dallas to Everett, Washington. That's good. And then they said that while airborne, the crew must continuously monitor the flight computer for battery-related messages and land immediately if one occurs. And they also said that only the people needed to operate the flight would be on board, so presumably just the pilot and the co-pilot. I don't imagine there's going to be a long line of people waiting to get on that flight until this issue is resolved. That's the news for today. If we have any breaking news, we'll come back and tell you. Thank you for watching. We'll see you tomorrow.